Dominated most of the big men in the Mitsubishi Challenge, and we're pretty happy to have him with us here in the studio right now. Reggie, welcome.
Nice to be here.
Well, first of all, how would you sum up your season in the NBL?
It's going good so far. I think we have a good chemistry in Newcastle, so I think if we keep on playing and plugging away, we should, end up on a good note.
What did you think when you first landed in Newcastle after playing for Portland, and then you played in Europe? I mean, that's big-time stuff.
It was different. It's a real small town, but the people were real nice, and it took some time getting adjusted to the league and the life. It's not so much different than the United States, where people talk English and stuff. In Spain, I didn't know what was going on. It's different, but I'm enjoying myself.
And the league, what expectations did you have, and how did they bear out?
Well, I really didn't know what to expect when I came out here. When you get into a league and there's competitive players and players that have been in for many years and stuff, it's difficult to get in and adjust to different type of styles. And so I think I've done good though.
Do you think it's a pretty solid league?
Oh yeah, most definitely. You can tell by there's like 6 or 7 teams with 12 wins and just stacked up right at the top, trying to get to the championship and fighting for position. So I think that's a sign that it's a tough league and there's no easy games.
Well, as I mentioned, you're one of the standout players. There have been very few genuine big guys that have actually come out here or even have gone through our ranks here. John Dorge is one that springs to mind, of course. How do you match up with some of these fellas, and how have they been trying to guard you?
I think I like playing against the bigger guys, whereas, if I'm going against someone smaller, the team will more likely double team me, and that's difficult on me. But once I get a one-on-one matchup against a bigger player, I enjoy that more because I can work on my skills and, develop as a player also. Who has been the hardest to go one-on-one with? One-on-one. I don't know. I've had too many one-on-one matchups, so I can't really tell you. Yeah. So, I mean, most of the times it'll be just 2-on-1, 2 against me, or, and so it's difficult at times. But, John George is a good player, and, Ray Borner is a good player, and so there's some good big men out there, and I look up to, playing against them. Because we do in this league, I suppose, after playing for Portland, you'd see a lot of guys who we often have power forwards play out here, and they have to play in the pivot most of the time. It must be a big change because, as we mentioned before the interview, that there's a lot of guys your size you've got to match up with over in the NBA. Oh yeah, in the NBA, there's tons of Reggie Smiths, 6'10", athletic. So in the NBA, it's completely different. Whereas, some nights you might, like in Europe or here, you might have an easier matchup, but not in the NBA. And it's the best league in the world, and so I'm just looking forward, maybe with time, getting back into it. Yeah, can you get back into it? What do you know about the lockout? Must have been a bit disturbing for you and other guys who want to get back and play in the camps. Yeah, it's difficult. The summer, I was going to go back for the summer league, and I think that was the time for me to show that I was over my injury and I had made some improvements in my game. But with that, it's making things difficult. But I think with if they get keep from a lockout and stuff like that, maybe I can get into a veterans camp and show that I've improved, and I'm over my injury and I'm looking to get some playing time. And you've got a lot of options, haven't you, next season? I mean, there's Europe, and of course you can always come back here. I'm sure you'd be welcome. Yeah, I hope so. I'd be welcome out here, but Europe I think would be a big option, and getting back to the NBA is my ultimate goal. So, but it's one day at a time, and what happens happens. Well, we've got to talk about Newcastle, of course. Wasn't a good night last night. First, tell us what happened there. Brisbane's a good team, and so they came out ready to play after losing Illawarra, and they came and they wanted the game, and we had an off night, and that's going to happen sometimes. But I think it's a good wake-up call for us. Maybe we've won some tough games and stuff like that at home, and we didn't come out ready to play. And so, but I think the next time we step on the court, we're ready to play. Well, there's a lot to like about this Newcastle team. Finally, tell us what there is that you enjoy about it. There's some good guards in the team with Tony and Butch, and you got some good role players. Oh yeah, we have a great team. Butch, Tony, MJ, and Marty coming off the bench, and then you have Grant and Maddie that make things easy for me because they're good 4 men to play with because they're strong. They play great defense, and help me in a way of getting some big block shots and and then some big rebounds. Well, thanks for entertaining us this year, mate, and good luck in the playoffs with Newcastle. No problem. Reggie Smith there. Now, the Gold Coast Rollers, they could do with a player like Reggie Smith. In fact,